incredibly cooperative. So like, poor Katie. I mean, you're talking and then all of a sudden you would be like.
Yeah, we have, losing y'all a lot, like in the breeze and stuff. You dropped off. And everyone's like, what's going on? I was like, oh, that's me. I just think Katie just runs it. I don't have to.
Is Cynthia calling in? Is she a 917 phone number?
Yeah. But I was like, okay, yes, she said she was actually. I was like,
So it might not be her, but someone calling in on, or coming in on a 917,
Yeah.
that's not her.
And then they'll, right, so it's just, yeah. And it's, and it's like, I think, oh, sorry, guys, thank you, we got right now. Like, let me take a look.
We're going to start the Parks and Recreation meeting today, April 13, 2023. Still roll call first. Nancy,
Mouse here.
Steve,
Steve Chabot.
Joe McDowell, Chair present, and the rest are on the way.
Yes.
Just the names anyway. Al, he's absent right now. Andrea, Dassie, absent right now. And Travis is absent right now. All right, gonna approve the minutes of the March meeting.
By the week later that.
Right, so,
vote.
yeah, you have to go anyway. All right, so, you wanna start with, I guess,
Hi, everybody. So I'm Emily Flynn, I'm the Director of Health and Wellness for the City of Kingston. And I'll let Kristen introduce herself. We're the project managers for the Broadway and Prince, the green spaces at Broadway and Prince that got redefined. So we now have those two, we have an opportunity for designing new green spaces for the City of Kingston, which is very exciting. So Kristen, you want to introduce yourself and then I'll.
Yeah, sure. I am Kristen Kessler, so I'm project manager in the Department of Health and Wellness. I was hired to manage a program that the city has now called Creating Healthy Schools and Communities. And so I mentioned that because it's through this grant-funded program that has the objective, of helping to create policy systems and environmental changes to make Kingston a healthy place to live for everyone. That this project came out of that grant. So I just mentioned creating healthy schools and communities. That's how we got all of this going.
And specifically, the funding from that grant is paying for this planning process. So it's not costing the city any money, it's for this plan. That's great. So I forget the dates when that, oh no, I might remember. So Broadway and Prince was realigned, I think, in 2021. I might not be correct, it was right around that time. And we got funding from CHISC. So we went through an RFP process and we hired Con Landscape Design. And now we're at a stage where we are presenting a final design Tuesday night, 6 p.m. in the chambers. So we are here as a courtesy to you all as Parks and Rec to show you our final design. And we'd love to dive into that more unless there's any questions at this point.
I'm just gonna make a couple comments here.
Sure.
This is probably the presentation you showed us for the block grant.
Yes, it's very, I mean, we're still refined every day, we're refining
You
it.
added to it a little bit, or
But
it's
yeah.
it's the same?
Yeah.
I have to tell you, this is such an exciting project. I love it. I mean, Broadway has already been transformed, and we're not even started with the park yet. You know, just getting rid of the fried chicken place. Not that I don't like fried chicken, but, you know, the building left a lot to be desired. And, you know, we made great strides on turning Broadway around. You know, this is just gonna, I think this is gonna be the feather in the cap here. I'm really looking forward to this.
Thank you for that.
Oh, good. So welcome to here.
So my name is Karine Pitay. I'm from Plan Landscape Design. We are based in Kingston. And so we'll be working with you and with the community to kind of create this design. So we're just going to show you, I think we're going to, I know we have a lot on the plate, so we're not going to take too long, but just to show you a bit of the process and how we came to have the design we're going to present now. So yeah, I'm just going to go as fast as I wanted to. It's too bad we got so few.
Yeah, you're doing well.
Yeah, I know. So this is where we stand now. This is like an outline, you know, of the project. So we started actually in September to work with the community up until now. We are still working with the community and just was on site with some SUNY students to check the design. These are some of the elements that we did to kind of like, you know, involve the community. So making sure everybody knows like this project is going and make sure their website are aware. So there's an Engage Kingston website that will make a nice relay to the information. Plus we attend lots of events to engage and to sometimes just talking, you know, with people and getting their feedback. And as designer, we are like right there to hear them, and we learned so much. It was amazing, and lots of education during the project also to kind of learn about the soil, learn about how you design and involving the youth. So So we've been working with YMCA farm project, and they have been very important to the making of this design. And they did some analysis, they did some design based on the surveys, they write the surveys into a report, and they were like really major in creating this design. So was also PlayScore, another group of youth in Kingston, and they also participate very nicely into the process. And we did some field trip, we did lots of different exercises for them to learn about the design, learn about the city, and be involved. We also work with the Pulse, with Draw, and lots of artists, students kind of participate as well. And I think it might be the first time like a design project involved so many different groups, in Kingston as a youth. And I hope this will be like a new trend to have, like the different youth involved and participant of their own town. So the surveys, we have 267 surveys. We had some Spanish, we are like bilingual in all our communications. We had also lots of direct engagement, lots of events, some events were major, and we had lots of participation there, plus like all the media and social media, and everything, because every organization involved is also kind of spreading the news about their organization, their youth, working on to the design. So this helped to kind of like get some information. So this we could go more in details, but just to show you like, like the major party of the participants who are actually from the town, they are living or working here. So it's really like the people, the target we wanted, like people who are involved into this neighborhood. So
Corinne, there's one important number that's not on there, and that is how many donuts were distributed. To get all the high schoolers to stop.
That's true, that's true. That has like a really, really good incentive for sure.
There's a pretty big percentage of people outside of the city of Kingston that also participated. Yeah.
44, 27%, is that right? 21%.
So outside of the city of Kingston, meaning the town of Ulster and.
Right. And out of this, some might be actually working in Kingston.
Working.
Every day.
Okay.
That's the one that live in Kingston.
Okay.
So they would be, like still on the side, because most of our events were like in midtown, So it was when we were very focused. Okay.
Mhm.
So there may be people living there in the, like neighborhood town, but living there often and have knowledge of the city. Okay, so this, so out of all the surveys, we kind of, figure out like what was the major point that all the surveys were like leading to, and what do people want to see on this side. So this is just to illustrate some of the points that was the most important based on the survey we did. So for example, like this idea of garden, I think midtown it's more green and space and trees, and I think this reflects very nicely to the surveys. People want a place to be able to kind of resource, and so this is like one of the idea. Also to have like little paths kind of meandering into like the idea of a park, like being able to kind of like access the other side, but having a nice experience. Lots of sitting, of course, people would like to enjoy this park, to be able to sit, to have their lunch, to kind of like, be able to rest a little and away from the Broadway scene and be in nature. Lots of trees, that was like a very major point. People want to see trees, on this side, so this was very important. So flowering trees, edible trees, like every different type of trees. And after there's the activities, like people were now like asking for places where they can gather, where they can meet, they can like some events, some kind of like cultural event, some yoga, some painting, some playing, something like that. It's such a very center place to the city. Another point was like the safety. Broadway is very like has a heavy traffic, so how do we create a park that is also safe for people who want to enjoy it. So this was like our part as designer to figure out like how can we implement a design that's going to make the space safe for people who want to enjoy it. So as you see like in the bottom, you can see like some kind of burrs, that we kind of like create a separation on the buffer, there's lots of noise. So the buffer also absorbs the noise and create some heights and provide some privacy somewhat and some safety. So that's one of the elements that we are using. Of course, the history of the post office can be, oh, this went too fast. The history of the post office, so this was very important also. It was part of lots of conversation we had with the community that, it's this beautiful post office that used to be there and it's no more. So how can we, in this design, honor, like this building and all the history that was with it. It's an opportunity also to honor like the Native Americans who were here before and to work with them about a symbol that will also honor their presence. So this is all part of like the design. Very briefly, this is like a site analysis. What's going on? As you can see, it's busy. It's very busy. There's lots of action, and it's like like the idea of being able to kind of like buffer, like the sites and create like a sense of place. These are like the way we saw people who are crossing the site, when you see them like the way they want to actually access. So all this gives us like some information about how can we design and respect this in the design. So these are the trees. We have like some trees in the back of the Dallas building. And so we went with like 2 arborists to have 2 different opinions to make sure. So most of them are either like very invasive and represent like an issue for some buildings. This one, for example, is going into like the roots of the building and the foundation. So this is like a liability. This one is destroying the wall. This one is going on the roof of the, and they are all split at a very early stage in their trunk, which makes them very weak and very easy to break. And if you see some branches are already breaking, so this is not like the right tree for like a park. It's more like, unfortunately, like a danger than a resource. So this in mind, we are kind of like, you see, we have more than 20 trees on the site. So we kind of like totally reclaim this tree to kind of create space for others.
But the 2 trees in front of the Mallard,
Yes.
they are staying.
Yes. Yes. So this is our budget. I got it right this time. Yes. And thank you for the community development contact. That's amazing. And so this is the programming. So it's basically what you've seen before, that what exists is now like what can we create and what people want. An idea of like, oh, a garden here, some kind of ceiling there, and like all these kind of elements coming from the survey are starting to take shape. So this is kind of like one of the processes we want to show you how this comes to life. So this is one of like, okay, we know what's there now, we know what we want. How does this travel and work together? So now we have like 2 concepts that we base this on. One is the idea of like the center of green, like of the town. And it was so amazing to see like how center this place is in Kingston. It's just like, we say midtown, so it's the middle of the town, but sometimes it's just a name and it's not really what still exists. But this is like exactly in the center. This place is in the center of Midtown, in the center of Kingston. It has like this really so central place that it feels like it has like, a very strong identity. So this idea of green, like green space, a space of gathering, it's a urban feel, we are like in a very urban section of the city. So like how can we retain this and provide these amenities? Of course, the other concept is post office. There's so much like this. It was on the site where this park is going to be created. How can we know this? So these are like the 2 concepts that we put together. So this is where we are in phase 1. So as you see, according to the budget, we are trying, to kind of like have the phase 1 that we can do with the first budget we have, and after I'm going to show you the full kind of master plan of the park in a future phase. So as you see, we have like this. So this is the Mallard building. And this is Dallas. And so you can see like these are the access, like that we saw before people wanted to access on the other side. You cannot really see it from here, but these are like burns, you know, like, so this is old kind of like burns, but at the same time, we wanted to be able to see this beautiful building. So it's kind of like open at some point to kind of be able to see this beautiful historical building. And so you can see like all the circulation goes around, all the plantings. We have like these are like some element from the post office, like kind of like entrance blocks that we see in the other phase, how they're gonna get into the design, but this mark like the entrance on both sides of the two parks. And so we have some bike racks, we have some garbages, we have some space for art, we have one space on each side to have some art installed. We're working with Midtown Art District, and like different little elements that we are.
Sit there.
Understand?
I just can't sit there and
And so, yeah, so you're gonna see like we have also a view to show you later. So this is like, you know, when you get in the building, so you can see like this setting. Lots of people wanted to have like fair, you know, like some kind of fair, like also thinking about the economic development. How can this space can be used also by the local businesses to promote, you know, like their services and their goods. So all this can be a possibility here to have like this openness to kind of facilitate this kind of like art fair or like, you know, all the programs at the city.
And to be clear, those will be temporary. Those aren't permanent structures.
Yes, thank you. This will be temporary, yeah, exactly. And like a pop-up, you know, pop-up restaurant or like those things. And yeah, like a place to you can say, oh, we need to go here. To give you some identity. So these are like two different views with like some elements, and so this is a path, and you see like how the space, you know, will work. So this is on the other side, we are on the Dallas side. I feel the Dallas. And so you see you have like this, you know, like you're really getting into, you know, like the welcoming of nature, like, into the journey. And you can see on the other one, we have also, yeah, this little events, you know, like, so we are also hoping to, like, you know, some map and some information to know like what are the resources of Midtown. There's so much cultural activities that need to be recognized. So it's going to be like a way of like giving the direction, because it's so central also in Kingston. It's a great way from here to kind of figure out where do I go from here, if I want to do this, do that, you know. So in this same idea, we're also working to develop like a community digital kiosk that we also give all the resources of Kingston back, like where can I access for free for like, you know, like all the services that you might need. So these are like the two ideas that goes with like some benches, of course, and like all the different communities of the park.
But have a signage, I'm sorry.
I was gonna, I mean, this is what you're gonna ask, I was gonna elaborate a little bit to say, the digital kiosk is a separate project that other community members are leading, so that's not actually part of the landscape plan we're planning for this digital kiosk in the future to happen. And then there will be permanent interpretive signage that explains about the post office, like being included in this plan, it's not digital. Is that where you're going?
Just a question about signage, so yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank you. And so this is like the other view.
Where would the kiosk be located?
Do you want to go back, Karina? Can you show
Let's see.
to the, in the left-hand picture, it's sort of in shade, but
Yeah.
that
Oh,
where the digital kiosk, or is that the? Not
That's-
digital.
Yeah, that's a digital one. I mean, it doesn't look like digital, but it's kind of like this.
that's it. Oh,
Like,
oh, nice, nice.
It's like about the history of Kingston and like all
That's really
this
nice.
different information. So yeah, we'll have like somebody on Tuesday, we'll have somebody from Trust Up who's working on this that will explain more. So I think that the meeting I would say for more information, the second part you can speak to, if you're there on April 18, you can actually speak to our Jensen and tell you everything about it on this project. Yes. Yeah. I'll let you know about it. So this is the view when you come from the other side. On the other side, so The Dallas building is here. You're coming, like that way. So it gives like this kind of like more open, space. And like more shady with like some chess games, some like the picnic table, kind of like sense of.
And some of the chess tables might be permanent and the picnic tables might be temporary. So it's sort of a mix of structures, so
Right.
a flexible space.
Yeah, exactly. And some like would be like some picnic table would be like, yeah, this one would be temporary, make sure so they are easily accessible, and some will have only 3 seats to allow people in wheelchair to join, like all these kind of things to make sure this is an inclusive design.
Where would those tables that would be temporary, where would they be stored when they're not being used?
Good, I don't know that we've figured that out yet. So that would be, I think, part of the question about programming at this space. So we're not in this plan figuring out all the programming that could happen in. Lindsay, if I can say that would all go through Parks and Rec.
Okay.
And so I think if we decided to do temporary picnic tables like in other parks around, that would be part of that programming discussion.
Is there a bathroom?
No.
Okay.
No, that's that's something that kind of like comes and goes. Like it's possible like in another phase, like on this budget it was hard to include this, but it's definitely something to
Is there a water fountain?
that was my next coming up.
Oh.
That's my next. I mean, for like a fountain and water fountain would be nice too. So this is like the most kind of like the biggest kind of like picture of like face down the line. So this is how we are going to look like. So here, like you have actually a fountain that would be like a jet fountain, just for you to know, like all these have like utilities underneath. So we cannot actually plant, like any trees or anything. They need to be accessible by truck. So we have like this kind of like a component that also made for it can be done. So we have a fountain here that can be lighted at night, like quite beautiful and very refreshing, in the summer. We will have, so this, I'm going to show you more in the other rendering, is like the design and the homage to the post office. And you can see like the column, of the post office that are set exactly the way the post office was. So it's based on the blueprint from the post office. And you see like you have a little stage here and like a flexible platform where you can just sit and kind of lounge. And over there you have like a little pergola that can give some shade during the summer. So this is, and you see like we have different pavements. This would be like more like, like a more
Hardscaping.
Yeah.
Hardscaping or.
Thank you. Yeah. So it will be easier, like if you try or anything, you want to be on the grass, it's going to be like more city fit to it than just like a grass. And also if there's lots of passage, the grass might kind of wear down after a while. So this would kind of like helps to kind of like keep it. And this would be permeable paver, so the water will still sink on it, so we won't create a problem on the site. Yes.
Are there gonna be any rises, so to speak, or is it just flat?
Yeah. So I
I
mean,
can't quite tell.
I know. I think hopefully, we are working on the renderings to make them better. Basically, like all these edges will be raised.
Okay.
All of this is going to be like raised here as well and here as well. So it's going to create like this, like this.
Nice how to break it up. Nice.
Yeah, to work it out, and especially like because it's not a big site. So first we had like all this wave going through the park, and after we realized like if we do this, we kind of mix into like people being able to gather and kind of like be more flexible into offering other, programming. So kind of like kept it to kind of create a feeling of like security and like, kind of like more a sense of peace.
So, the parking, is there gonna be like an extra area to park?
There's kind of already in the space, there's like a place where a food truck or a loading for Dallas Hot Wieners.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna do it, okay.
Yeah,
So there's a couple of parking spaces there.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
yeah. This
Like,
would be like.
we need more parking for that,
It'll just be probably, Wynwood Park where.
I think this too, the design, this concept came out of the Creating Public Schools Communities Grant that I mentioned earlier, and this is tied to the objective of encouraging people to walk and bike more. And so the idea that if we want people to, want to go out and walk and bike in our city, then we have to have places for them.
Exercise.
Yeah, so we want them to be like physically active. So it's kind of like some people drive driving is one thing that we do, obviously, but this is along the green line. There's the bike lanes right there and the sidewalk, so we're hoping that people will be like, oh, I'm gonna go walk to the park today. Not everybody will, but that's good.
But there's also like lots of parking, like along the way, on Pine Grove, there's also like some parking, and I feel like there is already kind of like, and it's not like a place where you have to go far away from everything, as you mentioned, it's kind of like something you can go like as you are.
And you said that there's bicycle racks, right?
Yes. So we'll have like a bike rack here and another one there, and this will help people also to kind of stay on site and just like be able to have like their bike safe and definitely encourage this.
Yeah.
Don't jump on this one.
Yeah. We don't even like the one, the capsule park.
Nice.
I have to head out actually right now, so I'll let, I just wanted to.
Almost done.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna mention, I know that you've got other things on your agenda for the day, we'll have a meeting on Tuesday, and maybe we can share, there's a link to be able to give feedback online, or we can share our contact information too, so, if you have more questions and thoughts, like they don't have to all be tonight. That's what it is.
Thank you.
They won't be for me, because I'm gonna go home to my baby right now.
Here's a good one.
It was so nice to meet everybody.
Next. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
So this is the size of, so you can see like the fountain here, and like this is like the steps, from like the post office that we kind of like offset on the other side, and like makes you like a sense of place, like you arrive somewhere like related to the size of this. So this is also another view with like different details of like, possibility of construction materials. So this is like the entrance from the Dallas building side, and you see like this is basically the archway totally based on the post office, on the front door entrance. So this is like, this beautiful kind of like entrance with the columns. And we have also like the version at night. So we have like all this light up nicely, but not to create like a light pollution, but just to create like, like this beautiful kind of like postcard as you drive back, like at night you can see beautifully illuminated and just like, to show presence at night. So it will be like a different design at night, but also like we want it to be there's lots of traffic at night also. And I think this part has a feature to kind of like.
Is it solar generated, right?
It might not be, might be LED, and but with a very, very low voltage, it's very little consumptions. I think like in the solar issues, like it's very hard to have it like for each site. I think the city is working to have the solar for like in a bigger, like farm type, and after like because to kind of maintain the solar for small things it's more expensive. That's what I learned from Julie. So
Is this the official name of it, Broadway Prince Park?
no.
Or we don't, do we have a name for it?
So today, we do sort of, the name that we're proposing probably on Tuesday is Post Office Square.
Yes.
Yeah, little room for feedback there, so a few suggestions, Post Office, what was the other one? Not Post, there's another name. Plaza, Post Office Plaza, like Post Office Square, but that's sort of what is being thought of right now.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
Might it be a little confusing to people who are not from here like us and know that was where the post office sat? If somebody saw a sign coming down Broadway saying Post Office Park, they might think it's the post office.
It's a valid point.
Square.
I mean, I'd like to have a
Broadway
post
Square.
office incorporated, that's great. I like that.
I'll write that down, Broadway Square.
So is there?
That's from me.
Shall we do like Broadway Squares? Because I feel like there are two of them.
Broadway Squares.
Kristen's first creation is on Square.
That would be her.
It's like,
What do we?
Plaza, you said Plaza.
Plaza,
Yeah.
I kind of like to.
What do we pass that?
Plaza, we're thinking, to me, implies all hardscape. Plaza might not be the green space, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is, the conversation.
This is a different, it's
Go call it Broadway Green Space.
Yeah, I mean.
Chicken wing park.
Yeah, cats like.
So a little bit still to be figured out.
Yeah, this has to be more.
But notes on the process there, I believe that the naming of these spaces goes through you. So I think you all get to sort of make the recommendations. Yeah, I understand this.
Well, on that note.
So Susan's update, and that's it.
Right,
Thank
nice,
you, thank you for your.
so nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you hear anyone who has any questions, please encourage them to come Tuesday. We'll also, of course, be live streaming it. It'll be on Engage Kingston, so please refer anyone to find out more about the project.
And that's at 6 p.m. on Tuesday?
6 p.m. Spanish interpretation. We'll have food in conference room 1, and there's childcare at the Everett Hodge Community Center.
It's here.
The meeting, yeah, in council chambers.
Great.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's a great funding.
That's right.
Well, let me give you the name, I think about it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, thank you, really appreciate that, for talking us about this.
I'm glad to see people have kind of calmed down with that right after we approved the money.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the comments that were being made on Facebook were just
Oh, yeah.
atrocious. Oh my God, people were saying the meanest things about it, but that seems to have self-corrected. And, you know, I hope when if they see this, they're going to be enthused about it. I hope.
Thank you. Thank you so much, really appreciate it.
Thank you. And,
Pardon me?
Everyone, have a good meeting. All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they were able to come and, kind of show you what they've been working on. I hope that if members of the commission do have suggestions or comments, I mean, certainly to go to the meeting and make your voices heard, I think is always important.
I think you should have a small quote from you, Lindsay.
The what? Yeah.
A small basketball court.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get my game with you, Lindsay, one way or the other.
One way, we'll
We're gonna
see,
play.
we'll see.
Please.
Yeah, it's just one time, that's gonna have to happen, I think, but I saw what happened to Santa at the Hodge Center, so you don't have to bring that up. Santa tried to dunk in front of the kids and,
Well, at least-
listen, we're being recorded, so I don't wanna, I don't wanna put any shame on the name, let's get off.
What's that?
What's that different Santa, not you? Was that different Santa that year?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So do you wanna vote on the March, minutes? What do you wanna go to next?
Yes, just approve, approval of the March Commission meeting minutes. Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have enough people?
Second,
Okay, all right, all right, okay.
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, new business?
Right, so we had our presentation from Con and Health and Wellness Department. So I will get into some department program updates and some events that are coming up. First and foremost, I don't know if any of you have seen this yet, but Andrew had shared with me a thank you card that was made by the kids at the Rondout Center for all the help that went into making a wonderful event. So I give a little shout out to the Parks and Rec Commission and Joe there for donating food, DJ Drake Black, Michelle's Traveling Treats, all the people that really made this a wonderful event, like Kingston Kids, Bruderhoff and everything. So I told them that I would bring it to the next meeting. So we only had one, obviously, so just wanted everyone to kind of get to take a look at that, so feel free to share. We are in the process still of hiring for seasonal jobs. We've gotten quite a bit of applications for camp counselors, even lifeguards. Yes, the issue with the lifeguards is that a lot of these applicants have multiple jobs. And so a lot of them work at other facilities that are able to offer benefits such as free golfing or free access to different amenities and stuff. And so that, I'm starting to realize that, after speaking with them, why there's, why they have so many different jobs. And I think they, trying to stay busy. But so what's challenging about that is the scheduling. Is some people can only work Mondays, some can only work Fridays. And that's where it becomes challenging. So on paper, I think I counted 15 or 16 lifeguards, but if they're only able to work one day a week or at certain times, it does become complicated. So we are still accepting applications. That's my long-winded reason for saying that. But we have a lot of new applicants for summer camp counselors, which is good. Even some new directors to consider. So interviews are going to be starting shortly. So if you do know of anyone, please, encourage them to apply as soon as possible. The deadline is tomorrow. Of course, we want to still fill positions, so we will accept them until the positions are filled. But we also just posted recently a new position, a temporary part-time clerk. We are looking for someone to work from May to August. This is the beginning of our busy season and trying to get everyone registered and signed up, getting all the paperwork in. There's just a lot of stuff going on in our main office. And so to help our senior account clerk, I'm trying to get someone in there, to work about 20 hours a week from May to roughly August. So please spread the word if anyone is interested. It pays well. I think it's about $24 an hour. 20 hours a week, but if they have another job, we're able to be flexible with people's schedules and such. So,
What's the times for that position?
So again, our office is open 8:30 to 4:30, but if someone works in the morning and can only do afternoons and stuff, like we're able to work around their schedules.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're definitely, this is new for us, so we've talked with civil service to make sure that there's some flexibility there, so.
You said May through August?
Yes. Yep. Upcoming events. So we have a clean sweep that's gonna be on May 6th. I don't know if any of you have participated in that before, but City of Kingston in general has their, kind of just clean up your neighborhood, clean up your parks and areas that you frequently visit. Our department has kind of a special clean sweep that occurs at the beach. We usually partner with Riverkeeper, and our environmental and sustainability staff kind of head that operation. So people are encouraged to sign up if they want to focus specifically on the beach and the beach area. Definitely contact our main office to get some more information about that. I believe a flyer is going up tomorrow, so just stay tuned. Continuing on with sustainability and environmental initiatives. Earth Fair is happening down at Gallup Park this year on May 13th. That just double check. So I don't, Nancy, I think you were working the table last year. Was that last year or the year before?
I
Did the
not for the
was that not, or was that
The
I think in the nature center?
That was up at,
Yeah.
that was at,
that
up
was
at the nature
collecting.
center.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That was cool.
yeah.
Day the zoo.
What's the?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Earth Fair, yeah.
Gallup Park.
Fair,
And then what day
Gallup
was that?
That's Saturday, May 3rd, from
May
10 to
3rd.
5.
Okay.
10 to 5. So yeah, it's it's a free family event. It's in partnership with Clearwater, Hudson River Maritime Museum, Radio Kingston, Live Well Kingston, Climate Smart Kingston, Bike Friendly Kingston, all the Kingstons, Catskill Mountain Keeper, Friends of Forsyth Nature Center, New Yorkers for Clean Power. There's going to be some performances by CCE, the Energies Dance Company, Mid Hudson Juggling Club, Percussion Orchestra of Kingston, and Uptown Lowdown. Got a lot of it's good. There's a lot of good entertainment there.
It's,
Other live performances as well. Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, well, last year. The nature
Does that mean,
center,
Right.
shoot 'em off?
Yeah.
They have a lot of space compared to Gallo.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Last year it was held at, up at the nature center, right?
Forsyth Park, yeah.
Forsyth
Yeah.
Park, yeah.
Yep.
And there was just a lot of activities going on, but
Yep.
not as many as are listed now.
Well, I think that, I mean, these are all the performances, but I do believe a lot of these groups were present and participated last year as well. There's also like an item in clothing swap that happens, you can come and bring your, yeah, so all those booths, I think are still, most of them anyways, are still gonna be staffed.
That's nice.
So they'll be able to fit into Gallo Park?
Yeah, and I think also, since we're partnering with Hudson River Maritime Museum, and it's just kind of, yeah, it's spreading. Yeah, so I think, you know, we really maximize the space down on the promenade there, you know, just a different way.
Is there food there or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, there's food, yeah, there's, last year there were a few different vendors, and I believe Jane's Ice Cream there, last year there were, root beer floats was a big thing, and those, I believe those were free last year. Until they were, you know, it's first come, first served, yep,
Oh, wow.
and I do think they go quick, so, yeah, there's a few different food vendors will include Reggae Boy Cafe, Cap's Veg Table, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Argula, as well as root beer floats from Keegan Hales.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Also free disposal, this one I actually liked last year, this, free disposal of old refrigerators, freezers, dehumidifiers, and air.
They did have, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
people, I mean, you'd be amazed how many people though brought
Write
in.
it down, and it's
Yeah.
in front of their house,
Yep.
right?
And then there's also collecting other electronics such as computers, televisions, yeah, so,
That was pretty cool.
yeah, a lot of people took advantage of that, you know, which is great. And you're doing it in an environmentally conscious way, so. So, yeah, good stuff. So again, that's, also, if people are looking to volunteer, there is a link here, I'm actually gonna forward this to you guys. If anybody's interested, or if you know people that are interested, they are collecting, applications for volunteers for 2 different shifts, 9:30 to 1:30 or 1:15 to 5:15, so. Yeah. Alright. So that is May 13th. The other item I just want to put on everyone's radar, we have finalized the details for our next senior bus trip. Just want to let you all kind of take a look at that. This flyer went up on Facebook. But obviously with it being a senior program, we are gonna post an ad in the newspaper. We're dropping off flyers at the senior homes locally. The seniors that participate in our building for different programs, a lot of them actually gave their input on which act they would prefer to see. This specific location had a list of, I think, like 20 different types of music, different artists. Villa Roma, that's in
Island?
it's in Pottsville.
Oh.
Or Liberty, maybe it's Liberty. Yeah. So yeah, so we are trying to fill the bus. It's first come, first serve, of course.
I always think so. The senior's too busy to be driving.
But we are offering though a rate for folks who are, under 60. Especially considering that, a lot of the seniors ask if they're able to bring companions, some people want to have a relative or their, a child to assist them, so that rate is obviously a little bit different, but yeah. So we're looking forward to that one. And let's see here. The other update I want to make you all aware of, last night was the Finance Committee. You may recall that we have submitted an application for CDBG funds last year, which we can now use. So it was about $155,000 to be used towards new benches and trash cans and recycling cans in certain locations in our city, certain parks that fall within the district. So the Finance Committee voted to authorize that spending in the first instance. So there was also some additional money that was allocated towards Parks and Rec, so I think it was somewhere around 246,000 total that we get to use towards parks improvements, mostly with benches and the trash and recycling cans. So we're starting that process so we can start ordering these items and replacing some of these damaged ones. Some of them that are, missing boards or, things just aren't matching. We're trying to stay in theme with, or stay consistent throughout the parks. We want them to kind of be uniform as best as possible. So, we are focusing on that.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, yes, please, yeah.
It was lengthy discussion last night about the new housing complex up on Golden Hill, which is inside the city here. I believe it's 155 units. So at some point in time, we'll be dealing with the rent fee for that.
Is that, we did that one, I think.
What?
We did, I think we did that one.
Yeah. I must have missed that.
Yeah,
I don't think they paid that yet.
they did not, no, they have not paid it, but I think we gave our recommendation,
Oh.
yeah.
Right, good.
How much was that gonna, yeah, that was gonna be a lot.
What was the name of
Yeah.
that place? What was the name of it?
That was the Golden Hill one.
It's just called Golden Hill.
Oh, okay. Because there was another one.
But it's very, very impressive. I mean, I was awestruck by the presentation they did, and it's gonna be really nice facility,
Yeah.
huge daycare center, lots of amenities, but
There was some pushback.
a lot of the discussion was, about the strain it's gonna put on the rec department, the fire department, and the police department, and DPW.
A lot of
so,
people, yeah.
Yeah, so, it's gonna be a lot of people.
Yep.
But in return, it's gonna be a lot of people out shopping.
Absolutely,
spending money. So I think it's a good thing, it's all affordable, everything is affordable housing in it, it's not just 10%.
Yeah.
So, it's good, it's not too far out of the way.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really nice.
Yeah.
We need affordable housing.
Well,
We need affordable housing.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
we need it, yeah.
actually, we put into the legislation about serving residents of Kingston first.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that would be nice, and also area labor. So they're not gonna be bringing in people from Pennsylvania to work on the
Oh, that's
project.
good.
I mean, good that that was being considered. So
Yeah, so
it's a
I think it's gonna be really, really nice when it gets done. And I think they're scheduled to break ground during the course of this year.
Oh, wow. So they'll have to make that payment before they begin, correct? Do they have to the in lieu of parkland payment? I'm assuming they'll have to, right?
Yeah, but those
That was a big
Yeah.
discussion.
Right, I thought so. I just wanted, I just was curious how that, I know it's a biggie, so,
But we did,
good.
we did pass it through committee last night.
That's great.
I still think it's a good deal, considering there's been no taxes paid on that property since the 50s, probably. So, we're gonna get it in, we're gonna be getting a substantial amount of taxes, even though it's, in lieu of taxes, as they say, people think they're not paying any taxes, but we're gonna get substantial payments, and I think it's a very fair deal for us.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
That's just my editorial comments.
Thank you.
Joe, I'm good. Do you have anything?
Good.
Yeah.
Wanna go to old business?
Sure. Oh, I do.
I have some old business, but
So, I don't think it would fall my on the old business, but I did have some, just talking to different community members, some things that they were, wondering if we could implement at some point, particularly with you. Some people were saying that they were, and I know we had the PAL League, but they were wanting to know about a boxing league or something that could happen. And we know we had that space on the stage at the Liberty Center. And then also they were wondering about a volleyball league, for young people, even though we have a volleyball league for adults, but even more specifically, there was a parent that was asking about for the teenage boys, because over at the high school, there's volleyball, but this for, usually for girls, it's not open to everyone, inclusive of everyone, so maybe there's some type of league we can do, has to be gender specific, but just something that's inclusive for younger people who, may not be interested in playing basketball or soccer, a lot of things that we have a surplus of. That's something that we have to do.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yes, now Kingston High School has lights on, right?
Yes.
What activities do they?
Well, they're looking for like a consistent, like we have like Biddy League, or has like a time frame that it goes on. I mean, it could be an open gym type of thing if there's not enough interest, but they're just wanting a dedicated space where they're able to come to, and people who are just wanting to come to, it's like not a part of another program, you know, that this is like a side thing, like they are more interested in playing volleyball, more interested in playing boxing, and that's what their focus needs to be. So something like this, so it may start out and seeing how much interest there are, like a survey or something, so it might be only enough to do like an open gym on one night a week.
Yeah, sure.
Or it might later develop into a league, but
Yeah.
maybe just something so they can have that, because it's not always open to everyone in a specific age.
Yeah.
And Al is involved with the boxing.
Boxing, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have some information.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good, yeah, absolutely. So, you have something? So somebody, a few gentlemen came up to me pertaining to the 40 and over basketball.
Say again?
40 and over basketball league, 50.
Over 50
Over
basketball?
50,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
that came to my attention a couple of times, actually, since the last time we discussed it.
mm-hmm,
And then we're wondering when, or if it's gonna happen.
Yeah. it is, it's currently on hold, but it is something that the regulators and I have discussed. It's, the timing of it is a little tricky, is the problem, it's more about the capacity. As much as we've tried to make it more similarly to what Andrea's saying about the volleyballs, making it an open gym.
Right,
It does seem that it needs to be more structured for people to participate, or at least that's some of the feedback that we've gotten. When we put it out there, it did seem like we didn't get a lot, but as I mentioned, we didn't advertise it.
right,
Because we were worried about people under 50 showing up,
right.
and if there's no one kind of down there checking people in and stuff, we just were worried, but you know, that's not to say we can't revisit it, but my only concern is that it won't be able to be run in the way that over 30 is run, at least not at this time.
Right, right.
But
So it's like
open
the
gyms,
pickup, because there's a lot of older gentlemen, like 50s,
Mhm.
that go to the Y in
Yeah.
the early mornings.
Mhm.
And, you know, you have a younger generation going in now as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, they seem not to be playing a lot when they do play,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah,
it's different.
yeah, if people, I mean, the goal for that was for it to serve as like an open gym style.
Right.
So if people are interested in that, we can certainly have that during the spring months, especially spring and summer. I mean, we really don't operate as much inside the building except for the senior programs.
Right.
So that is definitely an option.
Okay. The second thing is, I checked my park. No,
What parks were you in?
I had, Van Buren,
Mm-hmm.
which one? What was that?
Well, you checked them, didn't you?
Yeah. I checked Travis Park, today also.
Yeah,
Yeah, uptown, and then I had Block Park.
Block, maybe, okay.
Yeah, so I do know my park.
Just wait for you to tell me what you do.
Yeah, you know, little moment there. But, Block looks pretty good, actually, doesn't look too bad. What are we doing with that? Where the pavilion is, and then there's the, like the swings and everything over there,
But,
whatever it is, they have the exercise area.
like where the roller skating area is?
Yeah, yeah, that was kind of, got me sprucing that up a little bit, some,
What's wrong with it?
it's
What do you
just looks dull. You know what I mean? It's like,
Okay.
just to, I don't know what we could do to it. It looks old.
It is.
It is old, right, right.
Okay.
Like, you know, a little, a lift to it.
Structure, you want a
Something.
structure to go there?
It could be, you know, put something in there, it's missing.
I'll take a ride down with Steve and we'll,
Having
we'll take a
swings or
look.
something down there,
We used to have swings.
swings.
There's a playground, isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
there
then
is,
there was
yes.
a merry-go-round,
Yeah.
you know, like that running.
There's still a playground there.
There is.
But are there swings?
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
to make it look
Just
better.
upgrade.
But are there swings, like currently, are there
Yeah,
swings?
yeah, yeah. There's swings from when you were swinging, but yes, there's swings. So we need to upgrade down there. Van Buren definitely, that needs to be cleaned up and something other than I know there's mulch there. I thought we were gonna do something with that. It just looks, that one is just,
It needs to be cleaned up.
that needs to be cleaned up and taken care of, like I said, that's one of the ones I adopted also, so I'm willing to do whatever I can do to help out up there. And get the people up there, whoever lives in that area, the kids, whatever, and we clean up, maybe have some peace or something, whatever. But just make it nice, because that's the community, that's what we're supposed to do, help each other out. The other part, Travis Park, I checked for him.
Which one was his? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, I just
I
want
know
to know what we're talking about.
You don't think.
I swear, I really,
You
Travis
don't
Park,
think-
I don't know what's.
Right, right.
Well,
I was
the
thinking of the
park that Travis adopted.
And
He wasn't here, we
Academy
adopted it on
Green.
his behalf.
Oh,
Academy
okay.
Green.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Lizzie, I think I'm right, am I right?
I don't, I have to look at the list, I don't know.
Okay.
Alright,
Okay, so
but
Academy
what's
Green.
wrong with Travis's part?
Yeah,
Well, that's when he adopted,
Right.
but it looks good, it's
Oh,
clean, it's clean up there, it's nice.
is the fountain uncovered now?
no, when I drove, so, and I don't know if, we actually have a
Because it used
volunteer.
to work.
Oh, it's working.
Oh, okay.
Bill Coonan is actually.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think the concern, like right now, of course, it's 90
Especially
degrees.
90 degrees.
but next
That's
week-
why I thought.
Yeah,
It's gonna be 60.
they usually try to wait until May, I think, once they know like those 30-degree nights
And
are
the
definitely,
freezing.
yeah, I think that they're,
Okay.
part of our original CDBG application was to, move there's a spigot, I guess, that we were trying to move closer to the fountain, so he doesn't have to run a hose.
Okay.
And I guess there used to be one years ago, and I don't know, but it sounds like because there's no direct water line to it, we would have to cut into the one in the Maiden Lane, which is a much more substantial project, it's a much more substantial environmental review, it's a little bit more than what goes into the other parts of that application, which are simply the trash cans, recycling and the benches. So we don't wanna hold that up, because we are on deadline for this application, so we are removing that part at this time so that we don't not meet our timing for the other application, for the rest of the application.
So you're using a hose right now is.
Is that
Yes.
flat hose, you mean like it
Yeah,
just runs?
he's connecting it to the spigot that's at the very end of the park, by where the statues are.
Fill up those?
Yes,
That's a
so Bill-
long
yeah, he
way,
does
that's a
that.
long way.
And he, I don't know if you know Bill, but he
Yeah.
definitely, he takes a lot of pride in that, and he has, kind of made that his, personal, just goal to keep that area and that fountain, up and running and keeping it nice. So he does a great job with it.
That's so
I
nice to
don't
know.
think we had another fountain anywhere, right?
We have it at Gallo, but I don't,
But that,
I don't think it's not an automatic
right,
fountain, I don't think.
no,
Who adopted that part?
Which one, Dale?
Gallo.
Yeah,
I don't know. Wait, is it closer to the rest, to,
By marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah, yeah, but it's not like an auto, there's not like,
Right.
it's not the same kind of fountain.
what is that?
Can I just have a trash can on the walkway at the Greenkill thing?
Yes.
Because
That is in our location, yes, because that's right,
That's
by
right.
Barnum, yeah.
right by Barnum has them,
No, I mean on the trail,
Right.
that's on the CDBG
The
list.
trail.
Yes.
right,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, because it's more dogs.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
really-
do we need, baggy
I
things?
don't know, do we have something?
We have,
I've seen them at Gallo Park where it says you can't have dogs, but there's
After they're
batteries.
gone.
Yeah.
Tells you.
You know,
that.
I just don't like even walking on paths once.
Right, right.
After they're
right.
gone.
So my next question is on the 13th, on the way of Earth Day, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, will we consider that day to clean our parks also?
oh, you mean the 6th for clean sweep? Or is it not
No,
clean
the
sweep?
6th, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
6th, I'm sorry, yep, 6th. Would that be considered a day for us to do that with the parks also?
That's like citywide, so that's like
Okay.
restaurant, like businesses, they kind of, people.
Different areas.
Yes, yeah, and some people, so a lot of people do reach out, and ask if they can focus on certain areas, and like you said, kind of adopt it for the day. United Healthcare usually reaches out.
I've seen Laos.
Is that one? Yeah, okay, yeah, yep, and so, again, I don't know what the city is kind of, usually they'll put out like a just kind of a more general announcement about it and what people have to do if they want to volunteer. There's usually a waiver, a volunteer waiver that has to be filled out. But the one that our department hosts is down at the beach. That's the one with Riverkeeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can I mention about my park?
Yes,
Oh,
please.
okay. Let's see,
Oh, several.
Lauren Park?
Yeah.
Lauren Park.
See, we did that to test you. I was not testing you. Good morning.
Lauren Park,
Yeah.
it's definitely well maintained, you know, it looks good. The only thing that I would suggest is that the park sign that's over on, I think that's Charlotte Street.
Wait, going into the parking lot, you're talking about, or is that on the other side?
On the other side.
Okay,
There's a sign
Uh-huh.
and it just needs to be repainted really because
okay,
it's hard to read that it says Lauren Park on there.
Yeah.
Just a little sprucing up with some paint.
got it.
And also, the playground down on Gill Street,
Yes,
Raquel Knott's Park, it looks good. The gates are never closed, and so I got out to try to close the gate, and it doesn't reach. It's like, it just, I think, needs to be adjusted
yeah, okay.
so that the latch can reach over, otherwise it's always open. And I hate that because it's a kid's playground.
Yeah,
And all I can think is like, you're inviting in
And then,
animals, you know, dogs and stuff like that, and dogs and
sure.
love to mark their territory, so, you know, so that's my only concern with that,
Sure.
is that, and maybe, if possible, put a sign up that says closed gate or something.
Yeah.
Because people,
Keep gate closed.
I mean, if they, yeah, you know, if they see it, then maybe they will do it, but otherwise, I think they just leave and it's, and leave the gates open. So
Okay, yeah.
that's what I paid for that park is,
Sure.
but I'm always getting out and trying to. But there was a chain, somebody had put a chain around it to hold it together. And I thought that was pretty tacky, but.
Was that to hold, so we had some vandalism there recently, and I think our staff had to pour the rubber, and so I don't know when this was, but I know they did have to lock it so it would set. They did it, and then someone came and took it out, and took out another patch. So it, you know, it does
All the
feel,
work we did down there to get that right.
yeah, and it looked really nice, and so they cut out a very like meticulous square. And so our guys, they have been taught how to reset it and how to re-pour it. And so they did, and they left it open, you know, or not open, but you know, they left it and went back the next day, and someone cut out another square of the same size,
Maybe
so.
you put the camera down there.
Yeah, and so we are, yeah, so
maybe they're trying to build their own.
someone said, so one of our staff said that, they literally said, I think that they might be taking it to build like something for their backyard, like
Yeah.
their, cause it was the same size square, and it was like cut the same perfectly.
What they have to do is ask somebody to donate to
It's,
Yeah.
That's
and so
that's
it's,
not right.
so I do know one, our maintenance staff said they had to lock it in hopes that it would stay, that it would stay at least overnight.
So maybe that's what that chain was then.
Cause I was made aware of that, but yeah, we did talk about placing cameras up, we actually, so there, one of our, so next, I just wanna mention real quick, next meeting, I had asked two of our employees to come and meet with us, Julie Noble and Jack Swoonmaker, to talk about their various projects, to just kind of give you guys an overview of all the different things that they're each working on. Deed Stadium is Jack's project, which I know, you know, most of you have had questions on, and so this is a good time, I think, for each of them to kind of give you a rundown of what the project entails. There may be some projects that you guys are aware of, just giving you an update on where they're at, timelines, and just breakdowns on what the goal is, so. Julie and Jack Schoonmaker, yep, but there was something that I was, what did you say, there was something, oh, the vandalism, the other, so Julie, one of her projects though is, the phase 2 of cameras and Wi-Fi in the rest of the parks and the rest of, the, you know, city buildings and facilities. And so one location, we have cameras at the Kingston Point, but we don't necessarily have them. It's hard, I mean, that's a big area, that we don't have them in all aspects in all areas, so there's been, a couple of instances of damage and vandalism at the, Kingston Point EMX, building and their facilities. A lot of bikes have been stolen, a lot of damage, a lot of graffiti. And so we were already planning to add that as one of our additional locations, but I'm gonna, follow Julie about Raquel Knox Park as well, because that, since we have been having multiple instances of that will be another
This is
spot,
sad.
unfortunately.
All the work we did and put into this, we should have pride
Right.
in the community and, like,
Yeah.
think about the kids and like the enjoy
And
these
that's my-
parks and everything.
That's my concern with this new park on
Ridiculous.
Broadway and Prince. You know, I mean, it's like idealistically, it's beautiful and, you know, functional and, you know, you should want to go there and hang out. And I don't know how long it's gonna be like that, you know? But in any case,
You know,
we look for it.
we hope that people, and we always ask that people be respectful of the spaces. I was on the radio show with the mayor and whenever I sign off, I try to just remind people that the parks are for everyone and we want to keep them clean, we want to keep them, nice and add new amenities. And so it is discouraging, I know specifically to our maintenance staff that they'll, clean up a specific area or paint something just to come back and find new graffiti or find, and we know that's always gonna be there, but sometimes when it feels so purposeful, it's just, you almost feel like there's a prank being played on you, so. So we do, we obviously try to remind people, especially this time of year, to just consider that this space is for everyone and,
Maybe you should put out there also, during the press or whatever, that when you guys on air, let them know that they're being watched as well. And it's not gonna be tolerated, period. It shouldn't be tolerated. All right,
Well, I thank you guys for those updates, though, that is very helpful, and I will make sure I speak to our staff about getting on some of these improvements, and also some of the community input that you mentioned about the programming. So I can definitely, I'll follow up with you about, some of these ideas and see what we can get going. Someone from the high school actually reached out about doing like a team volleyball thing, Bronson, do you know Bronson? Someone at the high school, she mentioned that they were looking to do an intramurals for, I think it was a girls group or something, but I don't know what happened, they ended up reaching back out. But, so there's clearly interest, that was my point, so, yeah.
all right, so. The next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, May 4th, 5 p.m. Same place, right here.
Right here?
Yes. Right, if all hearts and minds are clear. You wanna, adjourn?
Thank you. Can I bring something up? I've been thinking about this for a while, since summer is almost upon us. Had this idea, I don't know if anybody has time to do this. Is our Facebook site well looked at?
Or the Parks and Rec one, yeah, oh, yeah.
I thought about doing something like the art of the park, encourage people to do artwork in the parks
Okay,
and submit it. And, each monthly, we could have like a little show or something. And I would be happy to, I got tons of artwork that I've done of the parks.
oh, yeah,
I mean, I could, for the first one, maybe put a couple things in there just to kind of.
yeah, get it going, yeah.
Which part?
That's nice.
Oh,
And
all different,
Which part?
all different parks, or just,
any park,
Every part.
That's cool.
just a thought. I mean,
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
There's a lot of interesting stuff in these parks,
Yeah.
so.
So you mean go to the park and just paint what you see from the park?
Paint, take a photo,
Mhm.
whatever.
Whatever inspires you.
I have some like outrageous stuff I've taken, I went down one morning and I was in the Rotary Park. And there was so much fog, you could barely see the lighthouse, you could only see the lighthouse, you couldn't see the shoreline, you
Mhm.
couldn't see nothing.
Oh, they're such
Like, such a,
good.
really cool, but I see it all the time, and now I always have my camera, I'm always taking pictures, and I do pen and inks, and, things like that. So,
Nice.
you know, it might be fun, might
Cool idea.
encourage people to get out
Yeah.
and
Some
more,
culture.
actually be more active.
You can even collaborate with the Arts and Cultural Affairs Department. That's something that maybe I can speak with Kid about and just see if we can kind of collaborate.
Yeah, I can send you a bunch of.
Yeah, that'd be great. We need some updated photos, especially in the building. We still got a lot of old photos of playgrounds that don't exist anymore, so yeah, I would love if you want to even have some be at the Midtown Center, that would be great.
Yeah.
Steve, when that the one morning was real foggy and Smart was out there early,
You out there
that
fishing?
was me, Doc Duncan.
Shut up.
It is 6:16.
Right.
We are done. All minds and hearts are clear.
All right,
Go ahead.
could I have my guard to clear, I'd like to adjourn this meeting. All in favor?
I.
All opposed? All right. Have a